This is factoring video number 2, factoring a trinomial where the leading coefficient is 1. So what you'll notice in number 3 through 5, we've got quadratic trinomials where we're going to break them down into multiplication of their factors. Now it says here, think of the factoring as foiling in reverse. Let's do a quick reminder of what foiling means. So I'm going to go ahead and use an example here. I'm going to use x plus 2 and x plus 3, like this. So when I think about the mnemonic FOIL, F means first terms multiplied together. So I'm going to multiply the x times x, which is x squared, right here. And then I have the O, which means multiplying together the two outer terms, which are the x plus 3, which is going to be 3x. The inner means to multiply together the inner two terms, which is right here, the 2 times the x, which is 2x. And then I have the L, which represents multiplying the last two terms together, which is the 2 times the 3, which is 6. And then, of course, when you combine all your like terms together, when you finish this, you get x squared plus 5x plus 6. So all we're doing when we're factoring is going backwards from the original quadratic trinomial back to its factored form. So that's what we're going to do here for number 3. So we have x squared plus 5x plus 4. So we're going to go ahead and write our two groups. And x squared can be created from x times x. So I'm going to separate that into the two groups themselves. So I have x times x. Now the second portion of the problem is to fill in the last terms in each group. And what you do is you take the last term, which is your constant, and you look at all of its factor pairs. So we have 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. And we're looking for the two values that when they're added together give you a total of 5. So I've got 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Well, the sum of the first two are 5 and the sum of the second two are 4. So 1 and 4 would be my factors. Now notice as well, this last term is created by a positive times a positive because of the fact that it's a positive last term. And the 5 is also made by adding positives together. So both of these signs will be positives for the 1 and the 4. So we have x plus 1 and x plus 4. Now taking a look, let's skip over and take a look at number 5. So for number 5, same idea, we're going to split apart the x squared into x and x. And then we're looking at factors of 15, all factor pairs. So 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. Now notice this last term is negative, which is created from a product of a positive times a negative value. And then I have a sum that's negative here in the center. So what I want to look for here are the two values where I subtract them, that I would get some form of a 2. When I take 15 minus 1 or 1 minus 15, I get some value of 14. Whereas with the 3 and the 5, whether I take 3 minus 5 or 5 minus 3, I'm going to get some value of 2. So I am using the 3 and the 5, and they are opposite signs. Notice that the sum in the center is negative, which means I need more negatives than positives. So I'm going to go ahead and put the negative with the larger value, which is the 5. So I've got more negatives than positives. And if you want to, you can refoil this out to check to make sure that your answer is correct.